There is a strange pressure that most people never openly talk about. It appears quietly as life progresses, not when you are struggling, but when things start to go well. You begin to feel that your life should look a certain way. Your apartment should reflect progress. Your clothes should reflect competence. Your lifestyle should reflect success. And slowly, without realizing it, your financial decisions start including an invisible audience. You start asking questions that sound reasonable on the surface. Does this make me look professional? Does this show that I am doing well? Does this represent where I am in life? None of these questions sound dangerous, but they can quietly influence thousands of dollars in spending every year. The hidden cost of trying to look successful is rarely visible immediately, because socially the feedback is positive. People compliment your choices. People assume you are doing well. People treat you differently. External validation can feel like confirmation that your decisions are correct, but financial reality does not respond to social validation. It responds to numbers. There is a big difference between looking financially strong and actually being financially stable. And that difference often grows slowly over time. Consider how easy it is to upgrade visible things. Clothes are visible. Phones are visible. Cars are visible. Vacations are visible. Furniture is visible. Visible spending often receives social reward. Invisible financial progress rarely does. Nobody compliments your emergency fund. Nobody notices your index fund contributions. Nobody sees your reduced liabilities. Many of the most powerful financial decisions are completely invisible, and because they are invisible, they rarely feel urgent. Psychologically, humans respond strongly to visible progress. We like signals that show improvement, signals that show movement, signals that show that effort is paying off. But visible signals are not always aligned with long-term financial health. Some signals create pressure instead of progress. A more expensive apartment signals advancement, but it also increases monthly obligations. A luxury watch signals achievement, but it converts capital into a non-productive asset. Frequent dining signals comfort, but it increases baseline spending expectations. Trying to look successful can unintentionally shift focus from building stability to maintaining appearances. Maintaining appearances can become expensive because appearances must be maintained continuously. One purchase rarely stays isolated. It often changes expectations. A more expensive lifestyle creates a new reference point. Once a new reference point is established, going backwards feels uncomfortable. Not financially uncomfortable. Emotionally uncomfortable. And emotional discomfort often leads to repeated spending decisions. Many people underestimate how strongly identity influences financial behavior. If a person begins to associate their identity with a certain lifestyle, maintaining that lifestyle starts to feel necessary, even if the lifestyle creates financial pressure, even if the lifestyle slows down investing, even if the lifestyle reduces flexibility. The cost of looking successful is not always the initial purchase. It is the ongoing obligation that follows. A more expensive home requires ongoing payments. A more expensive car requires insurance, maintenance, fuel, and depreciation. More expensive habits increase monthly financial commitments. Monthly commitments reduce flexibility. Flexibility is one of the most underrated forms of wealth. Flexibility allows you to change direction. Flexibility allows you to take calculated risks. Flexibility allows you to survive unexpected disruptions. When fixed costs increase, flexibility decreases. And when flexibility decreases, financial resilience weakens. Trying to look successful often accelerates this process, because visible spending often happens faster than invisible investing. It is easier to upgrade a lifestyle than to build assets. Lifestyle upgrades feel immediate. Asset building feels slow. The challenge is that slow progress is often the most reliable progress. Many financially stable individuals prioritize stability before visibility, not because they do not value quality of life, but because they understand timing. They understand that visible rewards are more sustainable after invisible foundations are strong. Invisible financial strength includes liquidity. It includes manageable obligations. It includes investment capacity. It includes resilience to uncertainty. None of these are impressive in casual conversation, but they create real security. Social comparison adds another layer of complexity. Humans naturally observe others. We notice what peers are buying, where peers are living, how peers are traveling. Social comparison can distort perception, especially when we only see the visible parts of other people's lives. We rarely see their debt. We rarely see their stress. We rarely see their financial trade-offs. We only see outcomes, and visible outcomes can create invisible pressure. Pressure to keep up, pressure to not fall behind, pressure to maintain perceived progress. The problem is that financial decisions influenced by comparison often ignore personal context. Income differences, savings differences, debt differences, risk tolerance differences, time horizon differences. Trying to match someone else's visible lifestyle can create misalignment with personal financial reality. Misalignment increases financial fragility. Fragility increases stress. Stress influences decision-making. Decision-making influences financial outcomes. Some of the most financially confident individuals focus less on external signals and more on internal metrics: savings rate, investment consistency, financial independence timeline, optionality. Optionality is rarely discussed in lifestyle conversations, but optionality changes life experience significantly. Optionality allows a person to make decisions based on preference instead of financial pressure. Looking successful often prioritizes perception. Building wealth often prioritizes optionality. Perception changes how others see you. Optionality changes how you live. The hidden cost of looking successful often appears years later. It appears when opportunities require flexibility. Career changes, business opportunities, geographic moves, educational investments, entrepreneurial risk. These opportunities often require financial margin. Financial margin is built quietly over time. If lifestyle expansion absorbs income increases, margin grows slowly, or not at all. Trying to look successful can also influence time allocation. Maintaining an expensive lifestyle often requires sustained high income. Sustained high income often requires sustained time commitment. Time commitment reduces flexibility for experimentation. Experimentation often leads to innovation. Innovation often leads to opportunity. Opportunity often leads to financial breakthroughs. But breakthroughs rarely happen in rigid systems. They happen in flexible ones. The cost of visible success signals is rarely discussed openly, because socially, visible success is rewarded, but financial stability often grows in less visible ways. Delayed gratification is not about avoiding enjoyment. It is about sequencing enjoyment. Sequencing allows enjoyment to become sustainable. Sustainable enjoyment creates long-term satisfaction. Unsustainable enjoyment often creates pressure. Pressure influences future decisions. Future decisions influence long-term outcomes. Looking successful can create short-term satisfaction. Building stability creates long-term confidence. Confidence reduces emotional financial decisions. Reduced emotional decisions improve consistency. Consistency often produces better long-term results than intensity. Many financially secure individuals choose selective visibility. They invest in areas that genuinely improve daily life. They avoid upgrades that primarily signal status. They evaluate whether a purchase improves functionality or simply improves perception. Perception rarely compounds. Assets can. Optionality can. Skills can. Systems can. The hidden cost of trying to look successful is rarely a single purchase. It is the accumulation of decisions influenced by external expectations. Each decision individually feels reasonable, but collectively they shape financial trajectory. Financial trajectory determines future flexibility. Flexibility influences life design. Life design influences long-term satisfaction. Looking successful can feel rewarding, but building stability often feels empowering. Empowerment comes from knowing your decisions are aligned with your long-term direction, not external expectations, not temporary signals, but intentional structure. Because real financial progress rarely needs to announce itself. It becomes visible naturally. After the foundation is strong enough to support it, and by the time success becomes visible, it no longer needs validation. It becomes sustainable.